Coming up on MHS1, we take a look at the history of Headhunters.
We get a taste of McKinney's best pizzas.
And we check out Edmodo.
And it's all coming up on MHS1.
Good morning, McKinney High School. It's Friday, October 11th. I'm Noe Garcia.
And I'm Sarah Appleby, and you're watching MHS1. This year, many teachers have been making the switch to a new school-friendly app for students. Here's Cassidy Carroll, Link Jeffrey, and Kevin Osborne with a look at Edmodo.
There's a new social media called Edmodo that's been implemented at McKinney High School.
I use Edmodo as an extra tool for my class to actually get information out to them. It helps me not to have to make so many copies because I can post my PowerPoints, my prezzies, my quizzes on Edmodo.
Ms. Vincent thinks that it bridges the gap between teachers and students.
I really like using it for my criminal justice club because I don't ever have those kids all at once. It's set for during the club, so if I really need to get something out to them, it's a really great tool. I think it really helps kids.
Students express their feelings about the new website.
It's really easy to get a hold of my teachers through Edmodo. I can just post something and she'll reply back and say, oh, this is when tutorials are, or oh, here's a link to help you how to do this certain problem on this homework, or like in criminal justice, we use it for when to bring our clothes or money for trips or competitions, and it's really easy to get feedback on what to do.
Edmodo is great if people would actually use it because it's a little inconvenient to get the app and sign up for it. We already have things like Twitter and Facebook and email, so we might as well just use what we already have. We shouldn't have to get something separate just for educational purposes.
Some teachers, like Mr. Bruck, think that problems might arise from the use of Edmodo.
A lot of teachers are moving to the concept of giving students work to do at home, so we'll put it on Edmodo, they watch it or they do it at home, and the only danger there is the teacher's not there to provide context, the teacher's not there to provide correction, and the teacher's not there to make sure the student is on task. So we're relying an awful lot on maturity and responsibility of teenagers, which of course, is not a problem because teenagers are inherently mature and responsible.
This has been Kevin Osborne, Cassidy Carroll, and Link Jeffrey reporting for MHS1.
Honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance
to thee,
Texas,
one state, under God,
one
and indivisible.
According to Texas Statutes Government Code, Title 11, Subchapter C, Section 3100.104, when saying the Texas Pledge, face the state flag and stand at attention with the person's right hand over the heart. If you're going to pledge your allegiance, do it right.
This October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Here's Ben Tatum and Grant Holland with more.
Cancer is a worldwide epidemic that affects people in many different ways. We talked to Valerie Wright, a breast cancer survivor, about her experiences with the disease and how to cope with the stress.
So I had a mammogram and an ultrasound, and it was considered normal. And so they told me to go home and come back in a year. But I told them something wasn't sitting right in my gut, and I asked questions, and I said, it's really not normal for me. And so thank God I asked those questions because we ended up doing a biopsy, and indeed it was cancer. I was shocked, and because I had no breast cancer in my family, and I really thought that it was going to be normal. I thought maybe the doctors had switched my tissue with another patient. I really just thought it was going to be normal. And because I've lived a healthy lifestyle, and I was utter shock and disbelief.
Valerie's discussion helps students realize the importance of maintaining a healthy lifestyle.
What I took away from the speech is the different types of cancer, how to treat it, and how to check yourself for those types of cancer.
I learned how to be more proactive and keep myself healthy and know it's normal for me.
I just want to make sure that I can share this passion with all of you to understand what normal is in your body, because that's what got me to, I didn't want to know that I had cancer, but I was able to ask those questions to learn that I did so I could treat it properly. So now I'm standing here in front of you and sharing the good news that life is beautiful and you need to embrace every moment of it.
Valerie Wright also has a website to help individuals through their treatment.
I couldn't sleep at night trying to come up with how I wanted to help other people. So I ended up creating the website called baldchicksareHot.com, and then also a Facebook page, and the Facebook page is Bald Chicks Are Hot as well. And it's a mentoring place. It's for people to go to, whether, you know, breast cancer, whatever cancer you're going through. I want to help say there's, you know, if you're having a bad day today, it's okay, but tomorrow might be better.
Throughout her struggle, Valerie has remained strong and has kept a positive outlook on life.
Embrace life, know you're normal, cop a feel, know what's real, and tell someone in your life that you love them, because you just never know what's going to happen in everyday life.
This has been Grant Holland and Ben Tatum reporting for MHS1.
Are you routinely done in by locked doors to dark rooms? Can't seem to catch a break? You don't move this slowly when you get in a car. Why would you move this slow in a hole? Just look at the time. Now you'll have to go to your house office. They may make you get on a computer to print your pass, which would make you very sad. Now remember, don't be late, avoid dawdling, get your tardy pass and move on with your day.
Headhunters have been a part of the school for more than 2 decades, but not everyone knows the history behind the spirited bunch. Here's Hannah Hornbeck, Lily Pisano, and Luke Lauterbach with the story.
Headhunters is a tradition that has been at McKinney High School for 20 years. On top of the carefree shenanigans, forming this odd group took some serious dedication and school spirit.
Our first kind of football game, we played Sherman then. We were 4A, we played Sherman, and I had a group of 5-6 friends of mine that kind of were goofballs, did all sorts of crazy things. We found a mannequin head, actually a box of mannequin heads in a dumpster, and planned on making kind of a horror movie or something with them, have all these heads exploding, something like that. And we ended up taking one to the first football game, which I said was in Sherman. And while we were at Sherman, we were throwing the head around, we put it up on a stick and we're jumping around, doing all sorts of crazy things, just kind of trying to cheer on the football team. And the principal, Carol Hunter, came to us after the game and said, hey, if you guys are interested, we're trying to start kind of a spirit squad, something like that, that we could get going. And if you 7 are interested, I'd love to just get you 7 involved in that. And we said, there are 3 conditions. We want t-shirts, we want to get in all the football games for free, and we want to ride on the cheerleading bus. And all 3 of those came true. So therefore we called it Headhunters because we carried this head on a stick, which I actually still have 20 some odd years later. And Carol Hunter was the principal. So we named it after her, Headhunters. And that is where the legend started of what the Headhunters is.
Headhunters create a very lively and vivacious atmosphere for the fans to enjoy.
I like Headhunters because it really gets the whole fans pumped for the game, and they're always really stupid and funny down on the track, and they're just like fun to interact with, I guess, throughout the game.
The goal of Headhunters is to keep the crowd pumped up and to keep them excited for the game, and if the crowd level is high as it should be, then the team is going to perform better on the field and ultimately win more games.
Headhunter Captain Jake Steele prepares many dances, music, and cheers to pump up the crowd.
Headhunters are 13 guys that get the chance going for MHS football games, and we dance around on the track. Most of us don't have any shame, so we're basically willing to do anything to get the crowd pumped up. We participate in most of the sporting events, and we try our best to keep it live. If the crowd gets quiet, we're not doing our job right, and we don't like that. I chose to be a Headhunter last year because I love school spirit and I love getting the crowd pumped up, and it's just an adrenaline rush to be down on the field and get free games.
Headhunters just kind of like jump around and dance around and act like idiots so that everyone gets to laugh and be involved.
This has been Luke Lauterbach, Hannah Hornbeck, and Lily Pisano reporting to you for MHS1.
Hey Noe, do you know where any of your teachers went to high school?
No, I really don't.
Well, you may be surprised some of them went to MHS. Here's Sean Folgate, Alyssa Delgado, and Nick Lindley with a look on former students who came back to teach.
Some of the staff members who once went to McKinney High School have come back to pursue their careers.
I hope for the best for McKinney High, and I expect the best for McKinney High. I truly believe that we are in our position to succeed. I'm lucky enough to be back in McKinney where my family lives, so I get to see them more, including my little brother, Remington Edwards, senior at McKinney High School.
Well, since I was only here about 5 years ago, it was old. So it doesn't really feel like I'm working in the same place that I went to high school.
I loved attending McKinney High School. It was a lot smaller. Back when we first moved here, there were probably about 25,000 people in McKinney versus 136,000 now.
I went to McKinney High School from 1998 to 2002. I moved here my freshman year, so I was brand new to McKinney and brand new to McKinney High School.
While I was a student here, our main rivalry was North, but then my junior year was when McKinney-Boyd opened up.
We have a friendly rivalry with Boyd, which is new to me. I was used to North.
Our rivalry back then, because we were only McKinney, was really with Highland Park. And so we would go out and play at Highland Park, and it would get always, whether it was football, soccer, basketball, super competitive, kind of like it does now with our local rivalries.
Faculty such as Miss Behringer, Mrs. Stevens, Mr. Christian, Mrs. Piscali, Mrs. Carrasco, and Mr. Zapata have returned to good old McKinney High School because of the deep-rooted traditions and positive atmosphere of our school.
I think that this building kind of gives everyone the sense that MHS is growing, and it's because not that the building before was bad, but I think this new space gives everyone a sense of pride about our school.
There's a sense of unity and spirit and tradition.
I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be a part of it on the other side of the McKinney High School spectrum, and hopefully I'm able to not ruin any lives while I'm here.
This has been Sean Folgate, Alyssa Delgado, and Nick Lindley reporting for MHS1.
Now here's Luke Lauterbach with sports.
Thanks, Sarah. This past Tuesday, your Lions volleyball team played a great game against Allen, but came up short, losing 3-0. Here's Tania Conley and Jordan Hurt with more.
The 25-10 Lionettes volleyball team hopes to continue their winning record against Boyd tonight.
The season's been going really well. Last year was our first year in 5A, and we kind of got a feel for everything, and our kids have been working on developing confidence this year. They all have a common goal to work together and to make playoffs.
Coaches and players alike agree that the team works well together.
I love coaching the girls. They're a great group of kids, and I wouldn't change them for the world.
Tonight's game will be benefiting Dig Pink, an organization that supports breast cancer.
Dig Pink is when McKinney Boyd and McKinney High come together and raise money for breast cancer awareness.
It started typically in club where they have tournaments that are just completely dedicated to Dig Pink. Last year we held it at Boyd, but our little rivalry game, so kids would wear like pink uniforms and pink accessories.
The team has high hopes for making district playoffs this year. Your Lionettes play Boyd at home tonight at 6 o'clock.
Last night, your McKinney Lions football team played Plano Senior High. They fought hard but lost in the end. Sand volleyball is a fun McKinney sport that is increasing in popularity. Here's Eli J. and Aaron Caldwell with the story.
Recently, students have started hitting the village beach in Fairview to play beach volleyball. The game has gained a reputation as the go-to hobby for McKinney teens in their spare time. Beach volleyball has been an activity at Town Lake for quite a while. However, when the courts at Fairview opened, the sport became much more popular throughout McKinney. Not to be confused with traditional volleyball, beach volleyball has a few significant differences.
It's different from regular volleyball because out here it's sand, first of all. And second of all, it's like different kind of rules. And at regular volleyball, a lot of people have like great skills. Out here, we're just a bunch of botchers. We just mess around, a bunch of hackers. But sometimes it gets pretty intense. It's pretty gnarly.
Here, teens can compete with other teens from around the area.
We're here, it's like a neutral zone between Allen and McKinney and like Lovejoy. And it's a good place to go to because it's in the middle of everyone. just more people that come out here, the more fun, more competition, the more friends you make.
This has been Aaron Cogwell and Eli J. reporting for MHS1.
Come on, Ricky.
67! 68!
Hey! I'm ready for the game. Are you?
Hey Sarah, do you like pizza?
Yeah, but I can never decide where to eat.
Well, here's Hannah Fisher, Patrick Duran, and Hannah Hornbeck to tantalize your taste buds with this saucy story.
McKinney is home to a variety of restaurants, including pizza places. Each pizza place was rated on a 1 to 5 scale, with a 1 being the worst and a 5 being the best. Here in our own little Italy, we board the gondola and sail into our first pizza palace, Sicily's. Although a family favorite, Sicily's received the low scores of a 2 for taste and variety of toppings, a 3 for quality, and a 5 for service as well as price. This landed Sicily's with an overall score of a 3.4. Next stop on our relaxing river ride leaves us at downtown McKinney's newest restaurant, Mellow Mushroom. Believed it would come out on top, Mellow Mushroom also received a score of 3.4 with a 4 for taste and quality, a 5 for variety of toppings, a 1 for service, and a 3 for price. A hop, a skip, and a jump down the street leads us to a local band's paradise, otherwise known as Cadillac Pizza. Cadillac excelled, earning a 5 for taste and variety of toppings, a 4 for quality as well as price, and a 3 for service. These scores left Cadillac with an overall average of a 4.2. At Palio's Pizza Pavilion, Patrick polished off a plate of pepperoni pizza. Palio's fought hard against Cadillac, but fell short with an overall average of a 3.6. The Pizza Pavilion still managed to earn a 4 for taste, service, and price, in addition to a 3 for variety of toppings and quality. After drifting away from downtown, we found ourselves back in the square for our final stop at Sauce. The only place to receive a whole number average, Sauce, was awarded a 4 for taste and variety of toppings, a 2 for price, and a 5 for quality as well as service, leaving Sauce with an overall average of a 4. This has been Hannah Hornbeck, Hannah Fisher, and Patrick Doran, reporting for MHS1.
Ma'am, do you know why I pulled you over?
No.
Ma'am, aren't you a little old to be pulling into the student parking lot?
I was gonna wait for my son.
Now you have a good day.
Well, that's all we have for you today.
For more news, visit mainstreamnews.com.
And before we go, we'd like to announce the winners of the Senior Parking Spot Contest. First place goes to Lauren Frazier, and second place goes to Eden and Laurel Bevington. Congratulations to these Lions.
And remember, if it's news,
and it's at McKinney High School,
it's MHS1.